So you remember, like in the video I did or the interview I did with Dr. Reginald Katsutu, that agriculture is the backbone of Kenya, and to get money into the country, you want to use the least capital intensive projects, yeah. And agriculture, because we have fertile grounds, we have a huge labor force and also a skilled labor force. Agriculture should be just at the top of being like generating revenue for our country. So you see, Kenya does a lot of imports, even for things it should not, right? But it's because the manufacturing sector is not that well developed. However, agriculture is a good place to get money, and you get paid in dollars. So in the past, we know that coffee has been grown since before independence. The white settlers used to grow cash crops like wheat, coffee, and tea, coffee being one of them. Major farms like in Kiambu, Meru, all those, high altitude places, they grow coffee, they grow tea, and it's a cash crop. So did you know that Africans were not allowed to grow coffee until after independence? Like we could see the coffee going out, but we cannot benefit from what our own land provides for us. So that's, but you see, there's also been neo-colonialism after that, because Nairobi Coffee Exchange, the auction floor of where coffee is sold in bulk to to other countries abroad, was instituted during pre-colonial times. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's one thing. So coffee, over the years, there are some times when coffee farmers make a lot of money. Tea farmers make a lot of money, but we will be looking at coffee now. There's a time that coffee used to make so much money, but what are some of the challenges? You've had a lot of people cutting down their trees, and and saying, I can't do this anymore. I have school fees to pay. I have needs. My family has needs. This coffee is not giving me what I want, and now I think I'll just grow avocado. I'll grow maize, I'll grow beans. Even in my Ushago, we had to cut our coffee trees because there's a time that you're working so hard and you're laboring so hard, but whatever you're getting as returns, you're like, what is this? So some of the challenges that coffee farmers experience is erratic weather patterns. Now, coffee is a sensitive plant. It's high capital plant. Like, you have to really take care of those coffee bushes or trees. So if you don't have enough rainfall at the right time, if the temperatures are tampered with, if it's too hot, if it's too cold, like the berry production will be very minimal. So whatever you are expecting to get, or sometimes even when it's too cold, then there are fungal diseases. Like, there's a lot. Slight changes in temperature can affect coffee. Yeah, it's just a sensitive plant to have. So it's not like a hardy, like a hybrid maize, drought resistant maize, yeah, where you'll plant, even if it doesn't rain, you'll still get something. Coffee, you can get nothing. So yeah, there's the erratic weather patterns. Then there's the delayed payments. So the whole system of how the farmers get their money has been like protracted. I'll take you through that. But you find that a coffee farmer can harvest their coffee in October and get paid in April. Imagine if you worked in your office today and then you're waiting for your mshahara or your salary at the end of the month, and and the boss decides to give it to you like after 4 months. What will you do in those 4 months? So that's the plight of coffee farmers, right? High input costs. Coffee needs fertilizers, coffee needs high labor, like it's a high labor crop. So it needs plenty of water. So those high costs can really eat into the profits of coffee farmers. Then apart from that, there's also something that's out of their control, fluctuating world markets. Coffee from Kenya goes out as a raw product, right? It's processed mostly in other countries and then imported back to us at prices where you're like, what? So that's something you know, if you watch the other videos I've done about agriculture, you'll realize that value addition is super important when a country is trying to maximize on its revenue. So we rely on world prices. So it's a demand and supply. For example, let's say all the other coffee growing countries have been able to have great harvest, and now they're on the auction floor in the world, and the prices will definitely go down. So there's sometimes the coffee farmer can get really good prices, because maybe the demand is high and the supply is low, so that means their prices will go up, or else the supply will be so high and then the demand is low, then the prices drop, and then the coffee farmer gets paid peanuts, right? Then there's also weak governance in the cooperative society. So I'll just take you through that. Most coffee farmers have to grow their coffee through cooperative societies, and it makes sense because you can't just take your 10 kg of coffee berries to the world market. You have to, it's sold in bulk. So to protect the farmers and also to avail them loans and stuff like that, those cooperatives are very useful. So the farmers sell their coffee through cooperatives near them. However, in the past, these cooperatives have been super corrupt, whereby you find they're mismanaged. You find that the stakeholders with big estates may decide, if they are in the cooperatives, they may decide that they need loans, because the loans for the cooperatives, they are less than the commercial loans, right? So farmers would probably go there, take out their loans to do their things, to improve their land and stuff like that. But this big, let's say in management, will take out loans that they know that they're never going to pay. So a lot of cooperatives, societies that are coffee cooperatives, they went into debt because they became defunct because they had loans up to their necks. Like they could not pay, and they're trying to follow up on those payments. The people were like, "Oh, we don't have money, we're bankrupt," or probably they're just using this corrupt system not to pay. So who suffers? It's the smallholder farmers, the guys who rely on coffee for their livelihoods. Okay, so that's a challenge. So yeah, those are the challenges that coffee farmers face, and that led many coffee farmers just to cut down their trees, despite it being such an a great honor to the country. Because if the farmer cannot get their money on time, they have high input costs. They're not, the weather is erratic. They have these societies that cannot avail them any loans, and also cannot negotiate great prices at the auction hall. Then the coffee farmer at some point is like, it's not working for me. Let me just cut these trees. I grow my cabbage, I grow my avocado, I grow my potato, like that. So that's what has been happening. But the government is doing something about it. They're changing, and I'll take you through that in the next video. All right.